Hi, all you fabulous listeners here at Movie Musings. I'm Christina, and today I'll be reviewing The King's Speech, released to American audiences on December 10, 2010. The official Netflix synopsis reads: Britain's King George VI, played by Colin Firth, struggles with an embarrassing stutter for years until he seeks help from an unorthodox Australian speech therapist, Lionel Logue, played by Geoffrey Rush, in this biographical drama which nabbed an Independent Spirit Award for Best Foreign Film. Logue's pioneering treatment and unlikely friendship give the royal leader a sense of confidence that serves him and his country well during the dark days of World War II. It's directed by Tom Hooper. I saw the trailer, and you know what? It made me smirk. I liked it from the beginning, so I went in with these expectations, which were realized as I watched the film and after I finished watching the film. It's a great movie overall. The story it's brilliant, and the fact that it's a true story, well, that in my opinion just makes it all the much more cooler. He's I don't know if this is a general opinion, but I think of Colin Firth as a wonderful actor. He's really got a good sense of the craft. And if you may know from my previous posts that I tend to compare actors, particularly established actors, and what I'm seeing them at the moment to what they have been in the past, just to compare their performances, their versatility, how well they perform that particular role and stuff like that. And this guy, he could do anything, man. He's so good as an actor. I've seen some interviews with him, and this guy obviously doesn't have a stammering problem, but he gives such a performance that I found it to be so plausible. As someone who's been traumatized in his childhood it's a severe stammering problem. You see in the beginning when he has to give a speech, and it's in Wembley Hall, which is grand arena. It's really quite something to be able to perform there or speak there in front of a large full house arena. And he stammers to the point that he's incoherent. I'm having trouble with that word myself. He can't pronounce anything. He starts off, and it's not smooth the way he starts out speaking, but you understand what he's saying. But then he doesn't even say words. He just says he's trying, and you see him. He's trying so hard to speak, and he can't formulate the words. He's not retarded, and he's intelligent, but he can't voice them. So it's incredibly difficult for him. So it took some time for him to trust this guy, Lionel Logue, who was so unorthodox in every way. For one thing, he insisted, don't call me doctor, just call me Lionel. And I won't call you your majesty, I'm just going to call you Bertie, which is actually a term of endearment that his closest family called him, and no one else. And he actually said, he's like, only my family calls me that. He's like, well, in this place we're equals, never mind social status, which was very surprising to hear, because this was British royalty. No one spoke to them that way, because it was just something you didn't do because it wasn't socially acceptable. But this guy, Mr. Logue, he's in his own world, so to speak. He's really good at what he does, and it shows. Not just Geoffrey Rush's performance, but actually the character and his confidence in his skills in being able to help anyone who wants to be helped, which is pretty cool. Instead of him just shoving a solution down your throat, it's just, I will come to you and I will work hard if you are willing to meet me halfway and work hard yourself. So that was pretty cool, because I felt like, of course, they show for King George's other doctors who had tried to work with him. There was one guy who tried the method of putting seven sterilized marbles in his mouth and forcing him to enunciate as best he could, which of course was impossible. And his wife, played by Helena Bonham Carter, who I think is a brilliant actress, and of course I couldn't help but compare her to some British timepieces from the early 90s and late 80s that she did, to Sweeney Todd, to Corpse Bride, to The King's Speech. And let me tell you, this woman can act. Personally, I like her style and her look. She's got this little petiteness to her, but whenever her character calls for it, she embodies the character. You know, for this particular character, she had to play a very dainty king's wife, and she did it. But at the same time, she had confidence all her own, and not only did she stand behind her man, but at the same time, she was able to stand her own ground and refused to give up trying to find help for her husband and helping him any way she could, which I thought was a great thing to have in a person, but not to mention as a spouse, as a partner. It was cool to see. But going back to the guy with Mr. Marbles, he was, I didn't like him, you know, and I think that was the point. You weren't supposed to like him because even though he was sticking to the book, he was being so harsh with the king, who was clearly trying to enunciate, but he just couldn't, what with all the marbles in his mouth and his severe stuttering impediment, stammering. I can never know which is the right term to use when, stuttering or stammering, so if anyone knows, please define it for me. But the story is great. There's a bit of a climax. I wouldn't say it's a major climax, but there's quite a few, and I appreciated all of them. The story behind the reason why he stammered or stuttered, what happened because of that, and how he was able to deal with this problem now with these techniques that he had learned and all the different methods he tried, which were really creative, and some of them were downright silly, but you know what? So effective. It was brilliant. Overall, I give this movie an A. And on a side note, I did enjoy the soundtrack because I just felt like it fit whatever mood that particular scene was trying to go for, whether it was hopeful or shameful or inspiring or whatever. You take your pick. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. If you have any requests that for a film that you may want to see, but you're apprehensive about it and you're not sure if you want to dedicate your time, your very valuable time to watch it, you can always ask us, myself or Sarajo, to review a film on your behalf. You can let us know through our channel here at Movie Musings, or you can email us at christinasurajo@gmail.com, and one of us would be more than happy to respond in a timely fashion. Thank you very much, and cheers to all of you.